Two people pull up to a valet in a Porsche. One paid $63,000. The other paid $2 million. Same badge, same crest, same name on the key, completely different worlds. One of them is driving their kids to school. The other is driving a machine that can embarrass a Ferrari on a track. And the extraordinary thing is, most people watching from the sidewalk have absolutely no idea how to tell the difference. That's exactly how Porsche planned it. This is the guide Porsche doesn't want you to read. Level 1, the Macan. This is where almost every Porsche story begins. The Macan, starting around $63,000. A 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder, 261 horsepower. Respectable numbers for an SUV. For a Porsche, it's the slowest entry point the brand has offered in decades. Here's what Porsche doesn't put in the brochure. The Macan shares its platform with the Audi Q5. Same bones, same Volkswagen Group architecture underneath. Porsche refined the chassis, retuned the suspension, added better materials, stamped the crest on the hood, and charged $25,000 more than the Audi. The result is genuinely a better driving car than the Q5, but the gap in price is significantly larger than the gap in engineering. That's not an accident. That's what a luxury badge costs. The Macan isn't a bad car. It's a very good SUV, but it is not the Porsche experience most people think they're buying. Buying this new is the most expensive way to look like you understand Porsche, while not yet understanding Porsche. The badge is real. The experience is just getting started. Level 2, the Cayenne. This is where the engineering starts to justify the price. The Cayenne, starting around $80,000, twin-turbo V6 standard. V8 available above. 650 horsepower in the Turbo GT. 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. In a full-size family SUV that seats 5 and fits a stroller in the boot. But here's the history most Porsche buyers don't know. In the late 1990s, Porsche was quietly failing. The brand was weeks away from being absorbed by Volkswagen. The engineers had run out of money. The product lineup was aging. Then they built an SUV. The enthusiast community spent 6 months writing obituaries for the brand. And then every single one of those enthusiasts bought a Cayenne. Every 911 GT3 you've ever seen. Every Carrera GT. Every Le Mans program from the last 20 years. All of it was funded by Cayenne buyers. The people who complain the loudest about the Cayenne are the reason Porsche still exists. The car that saved Porsche is the one the purists never forgave them for building. Level 3, the Cayman. This is the level where Porsche tells a secret it hopes you never figure out. The Cayman, starting around $73,000. Mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, 2 seats, the GT4 RS at $160,000. A naturally aspirated 4.0-liter flat 6, 493 horsepower, revving to 9,000 revolutions per minute. Here is what Porsche has never officially admitted. The Cayman is by almost every objective engineering measure. Better balanced than the 911. Engine layout. Near perfect weight distribution. Lower center of gravity. Every automotive journalist who has driven both back-to-back knows this. Porsche's own engineers know this. And that is exactly why Porsche has spent decades quietly limiting the Cayman's performance ceiling. Because if the Cayman were ever allowed to outperform the 911 on paper, no one would buy the more expensive car. The Cayman is the better driver's tool. The 911 is the better status object. Porsche has built an entire product hierarchy around that distinction. And most buyers never figure it out. Porsche sells you the status. The Cayman gives you the truth. Level 4, the 911. This is the car that doesn't need an introduction, but it does need to be properly explained. Base Carrera, $122,000. Carrera S, $140,000. GT3, $225,000. Turbo S, $240,000. The 911 has been in continuous production since 1964. Same silhouette, same rear engine layout, same fundamental architecture. 60 years of iteration on a single car. The rear engine layout was supposed to be a design flaw. Physics says placing a heavy engine behind the rear axle creates an unstable, unpredictable car. Porsche spent 6 decades engineering around that problem, until the flaw became the defining feature. The 911 is faster through corners than cars it has no mechanical right to beat. It communicates with the driver in ways that no engineering specification can fully explain. And the used market is where this becomes genuinely interesting. The 991.2 generation, the last naturally aspirated lineup before the range moved to turbocharging. Values are already climbing. The buying window is narrowing every year. The people who understand this are already moving. The people who don't will pay more later. 60 years, same silhouette. The flaw became the legend. Level 5, the asset class. This is where Porsche stops being a car company entirely. The 918 Spyder, 918 units. Built between 2013 and 2015. A 4.6-liter V8 hybrid, 887 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 2.2 seconds. Original price, $845,000. Current market value, $2 to $3 million. It has appreciated every single year since production ended. The Carrera GT, built between 2004 and 2007, a 5.7-liter Phi-10 derived from an abandoned Le Mans prototype program, 605 horsepower, A6 speed manual, the shift knob made from beechwood because Porsche's engineers wanted the absolute lightest possible material. Original price, $440,000. Current market value, $1.5 to $2 million. Widely considered the last truly analog hypercar. No meaningful traction control, no electronic aids softening the experience. These cars don't live in garages. They live in climate-controlled storage facilities. They emerge for concours events and photo shoots. They are not transportation. They are appreciating assets with steering wheels. And the extraordinary thing about Porsche is that both ends of this hierarchy wear exactly the same badge. The Macan and the Carrera GT, $63,000 and $2 million. The same crest on the hood. Two completely different answers to the question of what a Porsche actually is. Same badge, completely different worlds. That's not an accident. That's Porsche.